Hello, Mr. Ari. My name is Diara Madamanik. I would like to present about United Nations as international organizations as my presentation to executive administrations. So, let me start it. Okay, United Nations as international organizations. So, what is United Nations? Have to know that international organization established on October 24 in 119.14.5. The United Nations or UN was the second multi-purpose international organization which is established in the 20th century that was worldwide in scope and membership, and its predecessor, the Language of Nations, was created by the Treaty of Versailles in 119 and disbanded in 119.146. Headquartered in New York City, and UN also has regional office in Geneva, Vienna, and Nairobi. Its official language are Arabic, Chinese, English, French, Russian, and Spanish. So those are is official language United Nations. So next we are talks about the history and developments. The United States and the United Kingdom, the Soviet Union took the lead in the design by the new organizations and determining its decision-making structure and functions. Initially, the Big Three states and their respective leaders Roosevelt, Churchill, and Soviet Premier Joseph Stalin were hindered by disagreement on issues that individuals faced for the Cold War. The Soviet Union demanded individual membership and voting right or its continuing republics. And Britain wanted assurance that its colonies would not be placed under the UN control. There is also disagreement over the voting system to be adopted in the Security Council, an issue that became famous also the federal problems. Next, we are talking about the first major step toward the implementation of the United Nations was taken in August 21 to October 7, 109.44 at the Dumbarton Oaks Conference, a meeting of the diplomatic experts of the Big Three powers plus China, a group often designed by the Big Four, held the Dumbarton Oaks and started in Washington, D.C. Although the four countries agree on the general purpose, structure, and function of a new world organization, the conference ended at continuing describing the disagreement over membership and voting at the Yalta Conference and a meeting at the Big Three in Crimean Research City in February 144. That's about the history and development. We are moved to the next topic about the organization and administration. Of course, every organization has the administration that have the talks. So this is the principles and memberships. The United Nations, the purpose, principle, or organization of the United Nations are outlined in the Charter. What is mean? So the essential principles underlying and the purpose and the functions of the organization are listed in the Article 2 and include the following. The UN is based on the sovereign equality of its member. Disputes are to be settled by peaceful and means member are to refrain from the threat or use of force in the controversies of the purpose of the UN. Each member must assist the organization in any enforcement action in text under the Charter, and states are not members of organization are required is to act accordance with these principles insofar as it is necessary to maintain international peace and security. Article 2 also stipulates a basic long-standing norm that the organization shall not intervene in matters concerned with the domestic jurisdictions of any state, although this was a major limitation of UN actions. Over time, the line between international and domestic jurisdiction and become blurred. Next, about the principal organs. The United Nations has six principal organs, which is the General Assembly, the Security Council, the Economic and Social Council, the Trustees Council, the International Court of Justice, and the Secretariat. Plus, we'll talk about which ones about the General Assembly. So, the only body in which all UN members are represented. The General Assembly exercises deliberative, supervisory, financial, and elective functions related to any matter within the scope of the UNIT Charter. Its primary role, however, is to discuss issues and make recommendations, though it has no power to enforce its resolutions of the compulsory actions. Other functions include admitting new members, selecting members of the Economic and Social Councils, the non-permanent member to the Security Council, and the trusteeships, non-permanent members of the Security Council. And Trustees Council supervising and activities of the other UN organs from which the Assembly received report and participating in the allocations of the judge to the International Court of Justice and the selections and the Secretary General. Division usually arises by a simple majority for important questions, however, such as admissions of new members, budgetary matters, and pitch and security issue, a two-third majority is required. So this which ones of the General Assembly that UN has met. So this is the point of the Assembly convenes annually and in special sessions, electing a new president each year from among the five regional group of states. At the beginning of each regular sessions, the Assembly also holds the general debate, at which also members may participate and raise many issues of international concern. Most work, however, is delegated to six mid-committees. The first is about discernment and international security, so it must be the second is about the economic and the financials. The third is about the social, humanitarian, and cultural. The fourth is about special political and ecology nations. The fifth about administrative and budgetary, and the sixth about the legal. Okay, so, of course, every international has administration to do. So, administrations talk about the finance. The Secretary General must submit a biennial budget to the General Assembly for its approval. The Charter stipulates that the expenses of the organization shall be borne by member as apportioned by the General Assembly. The commit and contribution prepares a scale of assessment for all members based on the general economic level and capacity of each state, which is also met to be General Assembly for approval. The United States, in the largest contributor, took the proportion of its contribution has declined continually from some to fifth, the UN funding to one fourth in 100 967 to 75 and to about one-fifth in 2000. Other members make larger per capita contributions. The per capita contribution on San Marino, for example, is really 4 times that has United States. The next is about functions. Of course, every international has functions that there is the purpose of the UN. So the function is to maintain of international peace and security. This is one of the most functions of UN. So the main function of the United Nations is uh, preserve the international peace and security. Chapter 6 of the chapters provide for the Pacific settlement and disputes through of the interventions of Security Council by means such as negotiation, mediations, arbitration, and judicial decision. The Security Council may investigate any dispute or situation to determine whether it's likely to endanger international peace and security. At any stage of dispute, the Council may recommend appropriate procedures or method of adjustment, and if the parties fail to settle the dispute by peaceful means, the Council may recommend it in terms of settlement. Okay, so that's all about United Nations and the structures and how it means and the things that some countries should have to make when joined to the United Nations. So thank you for watching and I hope it goes by well. Bye.